Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, good morning. Oh, and should do the cap. Yep. Good morning. Slow start here. Grab the links. There we go. Oh, we should pull up the Bitcoin too. Okay, so on Bitcoin, we had a little bit of a dive yesterday, and they've recovered somewhat, and it's still looking ugly. Okay, well, anyways, the 10-year Treasury is basically going nowhere. We had a pretty good move up yesterday from the auctions. I think we might see something similar today. Unfortunately, we're already kind of up and right by the point of control. So let's make a couple of notes. 19 was yesterday's high. Yesterday's low was 125. This doesn't matter. I don't know if any. Do want to leave that one. Or okay. Let's do it for some of the other ones too. Gives a little different. Okay. ES, oof. Just going sideways, guys. It's just going sideways. Okay, well, I don't know if anything interesting is gonna happen today, guys. Today might actually be more boring than yesterday. I'm not trying to scare you, but it doesn't look good. Not look good. I mean, the thing is this is about what it was yesterday. Just a really, really narrow range yesterday. and but we were kind of towards the low and we were expecting it to go higher, and so it gave us a trade today. We're kind of in the middle. They could make a move to the upside, but you have pretty good resistance above us. So I would not be looking so much for a breakout there. But it's still an auction in the 30-year today, so the chances are we still go higher. So not a very good trade, is it? I mean, we'll take it if it shows us the resistance there, but at the moment it doesn't look like it's gonna do anything. But yeah, it looks like a slow day. Well, we can watch Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin's gonna go down. I mean, look, the guys in the futures keep buying it. So we've followed the futures before, and they've shown some edge, but now they're buying it here, and it's overbought already, and it just looks like ugly, ugly, ugly. Well, it's a Thursday. I guess there is. Oh, we got PPI. Got PPI and the unemployment claims. Volatility's a rock bottom, yeah. So pretty slow.
Just a heads up, then just under 3 up on 1,000 one spots million PPI month of 2% ex-food 2% year on year percent ex-food energy 2 spots percent, and for the trade number 2% month, and for the housing price index 1%. Just in geopolitical situation scenarios on the It's 200,000 ish. 5 price being 190,000 ish.
0.2 is the number we're looking for.
Prior. And PPI month on month flat read their ex-food energy spot 1% year on year.
That's bad.
2 spot 7% X-Trade as well, spot 3% month on month year on 2 spot percent Canadian new housing 1% year on year.
We're in a good spot for a pop if they're able to get a few more buyers here. Very negative. I'm going to have to assume that it's because trade war deflation. It was 0 versus 0.2? Oh, which one? X energy. What's the core? Okay, the core was 0.1 versus 0.2. But then when you put energy into it, it's 0 versus 0.2. I mean, that's the lowest reading we've had in a long time, isn't it? I don't know if I've ever seen 0 on the including energy number. We gotta break 20. Don't look quite ready to go for it, but I don't really see anything in the way. Just a matter of convincing enough people to jump. There you go. See, this is kind of pulling away, but then they don't actually go and it stacks back on. Okay, and the 5-year keeps ticking up, but then they're not bidding a lot. So if we can get over 20, there's definitely enough.
Just a heads out, the Russian foreign minister
we definitely have room above us if we can start ticking through here. but it's super slow. Okay, that's good. Okay. So I'm noticing 22. I think I'm going to take +3. Because that 5 years gone too far. That's like super jumpy for the 5 year, and it's probably going to range around here. So if we can get filled, we might be able to get back in at like 19.5 or 20, I think. That 3 thickening up is not good. I think I still have a decent chance of getting filled though. If I don't get filled, I might have to hit into 19.5.
Block buy.
Okay. Oh, good deal. I'm really glad I did that because they did a block buy and they didn't get through it there. I wonder what, it's kind of funny how it's always that third or fourth tick. They're always super stingy about it. Well, they might break through it, but I don't, I think I made the right choice. I think I played, that's what the strategy calls for, so. Well, it looks like we did get what I was expecting when I exited, so I'm liking my exit even more. That doesn't mean that it still couldn't move up, just that I was expecting it to range, and that meant roughly that the trade was over. The 5-year has built a little bit of a base, so I suppose we could continue moving up now. And like I said, we got a ways. Oh, that's too bad. But I mean, we're in the zipper, so I mean, it wouldn't take much for us to break out of that range, would it? Oh, I'm feeling like a little bit like FOMO, but you're in a 2-tick range. It seems like that's always a really awful trade for me unless I'm seeing something in the DOM, and I'm not, so. I'm going to be sharp because if it comes down and it gives us a continuation signal, it's going to be really subtle. Don't want to miss it. For the time we're in the range. This whole thing, where you get like this zipper looking thing. What we like to call it. Oh wow, that actually pulled away really easily. Suspiciously so. Anyways, when I see one of those, that's very often the signal to just not mess with it. Unless you're seeing the DOM change through it. And we do have some edges about the amount of time that's in it, but this just looks like a spot to not mess with. Sure enough, it pulled, but there's plenty of fills there.
Spanish news hearings, Spanish budget watch, saying the thermometer
Okay, so they did break through it. I'd say it was a pretty good break. And what I'm seeing here at 22 is, it is thick. It is thick. They could totally pull and still go through. I don't know. It's just not really my setup, I don't think. You could maybe go short here, but the momentum is too much to justify going short. Although we are getting some extreme changes in cumulative delta there. Excuse me. I mean, if I hadn't taken the, what was it, 20 half, I think was where I got out. Yeah. If I hadn't taken 20 half, my next target was 21 half, based on where I was seeing the liquidity at. So I could maybe, I mean, so there are some reasons to go short here. I'd really need to see a bigger slowdown in the momentum. And in particular, the 5-year is still sitting up there at the top and isn't falling back down. Like nothing's hit 087 in the 5-year. So I find that really curious. And we could just get John's notes there. Is that what that was? Yes, sir. Mid-range is 142.22. Bull bear zone is the 22 to 26 area, which we are above. Morning bias is higher. Test, looking for price to test 03, which we're like right at. Or unfinished, so they may still tick 03, but then it's unclear. John's got a pretty good call there so far. It looks like I missed it earlier. Yeah, so there's 03 and then there's the 09. Do I have 09 listed on here? Yes, I do. Okay. So we did get the tick down. It's going to be tough because the 20 half? Yeah, it's 20 half. The zipper was here. So this is the middle of the zipper, and that's why you got this node here. So can you, if it did give like a higher low, would it base somewhere around here and then bounce up? Then if it goes through there, I think you have a really good chance of getting sucked all the way back down to the 18. And on the split side, get above this, and you got 23. Or I was thinking maybe we would move to 24. I do think that for them to push up here, that they're going to have to come down a little bit. $21.5 would be where I'd want to take the short. Just what are your chances if you get filled there that they're going to touch the 22 and then things would look really different in my mind? And the level 2 is actually not that imbalanced. There's all this big stuff here, but there's a lot of big stuff below us too. Okay. So they broke through it and 1284 hit 22. Wow. Five-year is still just kind of sitting up there. Well, interesting that this move back up in volume that we got too. I don't know. They're still kind of fading it. You notice the stacking here at 23? Yeah. Way too much at 22.
It's in energy news things in European product stock 1.099 billion, down 3%. Yeah. More via that European crude data. European crude oil stocks at 489.8 million, down spot.
Keeps going. We break through the 03 and ZB though. And then the next target would be 09. I'd have to say that was a pretty strong opening drive up. This is making it look very much so like they want to turn around here. But that just kind of makes me think that they're going to bust through it again. And if they did move down, I would be looking for an opportunity to get long, so... Let's minimize Bitcoin now because the equities are going to matter more. Yep. It just pulls away and they take another step. That 22 was like the best entry you're going to get. It's a shame that we didn't just hold on. So it definitely would have been worth it.
It's in effect. Approach the. It's just a couple of notes. Over 2 yards. At over yard. 111.
When 24 was about where I said, right? That was the peak, and then above that is 27. Do I have the 27 listed? I don't. Hi there. 5-year. 7. 7. Haven't touched it yet. 7 and 27. So the 10-year is right at that resistance. And it ate through a lot. It ate through a lot of offers there. But we did not get a new high in cumulative delta. And in fact, it is overall selling here. They're struggling a little bit. Now the 10 and the 30 aren't to their tops, so they could keep pushing. But this 23, I think probably would be better to go for 23 half because nothing is traded into 24 yet. And they're going to want to touch it, I think. And it's unfinished at 23 half. Because they don't like to leave it unfinished.
Just some fixed income news here. We're seeing US Treasury yields extend the fall ahead of record 30 bond auction. Reminder for that's taking place 100 BST.
with them above 3. The 30 year is definitely going to want to continue pushing up to 09. Doesn't smell right to me. So if you were to take a short right now, let's just say, like I said, I think that there's a pretty good chance of 24. So maybe you would sell 23 half. Well, there's a 48 at 23 half, and there's 3K at 23.0 in front of it. And then they're actually showing you 22 half weak, as if to say you've already missed it and you should sell 22 half. And so that kind of looks like a trap to me, where they show that and they're going to push it back up the other way, and maybe we actually touch 24. Okay, there is a big outsized order in the 5 year now. How long has that been there? Let's reset everything. This big old honker here.
Just in equity news ahead of the open, in E-minis approaching size, German DAX also doing the same.
E-mini is approaching session highs, but it's not even close to the high of yesterday. Not even close to the resistance. Like the move, if you wanted to short sell the E-mini, you know, do it like right here, 28.59 even. The move up doesn't really cancel out that potential there.
Equity news here via CNBC. Walmart to allow sellers to use hands.
Also, have some good cumulative delta, so the open might have another drive up, and then we'll see what they do. If they do move up, we'll see what they do at this resistance. 28, 62.50.
And just ahead of the US Open, our US cash equity preview is on the board.
Let's see here, they're showing it as weak here again. 22 half. Went long at 22 half. Sting. Okay, the big order in the 5 year disappeared. Oh, right. Down there. Now we get one of these rangy areas up at the top that I hate. And basically build the volume profile like right here. And I would expect that we stay in this range at least until the equity open. Back up to decent numbers watching again today. Hello, everybody. And if you haven't checked out the Discord, make sure you check out the Discord link, because we got a lot of really useful stuff at the Discord. Always worry when people come by and just stumble across the channel and they think that listening to me is like the big thing, but it's not. I'm just the gateway drug, guys. Go to the Discord. Okay, they're gonna take a new one. There you go. Not much to stop this thing. There was a little bit of a... There was also an outsized order in the 30-year that I missed. And it looks like it was about the same time that it was there in the 5. So somebody doing some spreading. So they might actually be giving us an okay look at the short now. Now this opening range indicator is broken because the opening range ended. There you go. Okay, so the opening range high was 22. $30 years not done yet. Well, we're at a spot where... Okay, and the delta is definitely down, so I think I'm going to put this in here and see if we get filled. So I'm taking this because it did hit the 10-year target. It didn't hit the 5-year target. We're quite a bit ways from it. But all 3 of these are like at 3rd standard deviation away from the VWAP, which gives you a pretty good chance of having some sort of a pullback. Oh, see, I'm going to miss it. But not only that, but look at the cumulative delta. It's actually been negative going through this. And it's flat in these other 2. So we might get a move down. It's going to depend very heavily on what the E-mini does on the open, right? If the E-mini sells on the open and tanks, we got to be ready to pull that. I don't know if they're going to give us a fill here. They're trying to convince me to pay down for it, but it's not worth it based on my risk reward. There's no way I can't sell 23. See that stacking and pulling at 23 have to. It's not a ton, it's probably just your usual robots. Well, okay, so that one was a little different. It pulled away. Nothing buying there. Still nothing buying there.
Adds up then just under 7 or so. That's the recent Wall Street Journal, 11th of July. He's now, that interview cited he was now comfortable whilst downside remain the fundamental.
Yeah, they always say that. You know, so here's a challenge for you. Can you find an example of a US official of that kind of capacity saying that the fundamentals of the US economy are not strong? Does that ever happen? I remember Jim Cramer saying that remember that rant, but you're never going to hear a U.S. official say something like that, even if things are really bad. They're going to say, because the fundamentals of the U.S. economy is what, capitalism, right? Okay. Well, that doesn't mean that the market can't go down and like lose 50% in the next 6 months. Not that I'm saying that I think that's going to happen. I'm just saying. That's what you consider the fundamentals of the economy. It's not a very helpful comment, is it? Trump's skinny insurance plans. What's this? It's gonna go without me, maybe.
Spacious SEP.
Step down in the 5-year was a little bit more. Those are their short-term plans. That's why. No big deal.
Up then just under. So bottom of the 7.
Okay, well, had I gotten filled at 23.5, I was potentially looking at 22 as a 3-tick profit simply because that was the high of the opening drive. So I can see some liquidity stepping up in here. Especially at 22. Now it's over 6. And then there's some B lot behind it too.
Evans, and I hand over to my colleague to take.
See, this is a potential long, but because we're in this range area, it's kind of like super crappy. And I really don't like taking a long here when we're just getting so much sell volume, you know? So I wish I had been able to get filled at 23.5, but they just didn't do it. And you can see here, if I had taken 23, I'm not sure if they're going to fill 22. So it's 1, maybe 2. The trade doesn't make sense then at that point. Like that Journalytics has like this trade queue thing. So I can just come in here and that will show me all the ones that I need to fill out notes on. So I just did that one. This is the Journalytics that I'm talking about. Have they been moving in the Bitcoin? Yeah, they're just kind of a slow fade, isn't it? Ugh. That's just not what, it's just kind of like this thing right here, right? It's like, okay, there's the key level. Yeah. Just kind of a slow march. Of course, it goes right through it. Kind of, then you see it in Bitcoin. The key level is like 6,000 really, and it's just kind of that slow and steady move that you gotta be careful about. That'll really kill you. Everybody gets excited. Everybody wants to see the big fast mover. So you still wouldn't have gotten filled at 22. So it is still kind of giving you a clue that there could be a long here. But I just don't like what I'm seeing in the cumulative delta.
To be aware on that interview, Evans, the interview is currently taking place right now, but cargoed comments won't be 6 o'clock London time. That'll be 6 o'clock Eastern time. So again, that's a comments from Feds Evans will be released at 6 o'clock London time, 1 p.m.
You're taking 22.5, you would want it to break the high. I'm not sure if it's going to break the high. Of course, not knowing is part of what maybe makes it a good trade. So there you can see the 5-year stepping up, possibly going for it. 10-year not so sure. 30-year definitely, well, 30-year is close. You've definitely got a step up. You definitely got a divergence in the deltas here still. So if we break out and make a new high, at that point you almost have to short it, I think. But I'm being careful here. They might, okay. So that's definitely not how you would want to get filled, right? So they're really trying to put pressure on the high. And so that's another clue to us, is that they buyers still want a new high, and they may get it, but look at what they had to do in order to get it. They had to bid almost 5,000 in order to pressure enough people to buy up. Whew. Okay. Five-year made a new high by a tick.
Prior look at the
Down. Notice this one is weak, but this one is weak. Don't know what is the deal with my voice today. In the 5-year, it's the bid that's weak, but in the 10-year, it's the offer. And they're kind of even in the 30. And there was actually some absorption there at 23.5. And given that there was that much sold there at 23.5, I mean, that's like a potential level break that might be failing here. And doing the level break after it's been so long. I mean, it's been 40 minutes since we were up at that highs, right?
In commodity news, S&P US 10% year, 1,000.
Okay, now the 5-year is kind of more in line. And we're getting this, oh, we're not going to fill you. Oh. They're just burying them. There's somebody sitting here waiting for a new high and is probably starting to get really nervous. Okay, well, you get to tick up. Feels about how I wanted it. I would prefer to see more offer pressure in the 5-year. And also would like to see the 30-year push below 03, which was the critical target that they got. Okay. And they gotta hold the offer on it, but that was good. I don't know. It looks good, but I really would have liked to have seen that tick down hold. Now they're just kind of sitting here like balance again. I don't know. So we're moving back up because the E-mini is looking weak. Or sorry, but yeah. Okay. Not a huge offer. A huge bid. And this offer should hold. Come on. Okay, that's a little better. Bid,
10 minutes
please.
lines, we get US wholesale for June. Final reading month to month, expected a flat reading against prior flat reading. The wholesale trade sales month to month, 0.2% expected against prior of 2.
Hmm. We got this iceberg defending it at 10 in the 5-year. Be careful because this at 11 concerns me. So that's a target in the 10 that they want to reach. Well, it's been offered for quite some time. And it's not going. Pittsburgh at 23.5. Okay. Yep. Wow. I mean, if I were to get filled at 23.5, then all those guys at 24 are buried, and then it's going to barrel down. So I think my choice right now is either to get out at a one take loss or wait for it to go into my stop. I mean, I didn't think that anything was going to trade into 24.5, but the way that that happened is just, I mean, there was a stop run. Orders hit 24.5. Then 24 immediately went offer again. A lot of shorts got stopped out there for sure. Yep. Yep.
Block buy.
Oh, geez.
Minutes now into with the US wholesale inventories. Again, this month on the final June reading expected to be a flat reading with the trade sales 0.2% expected.
Yeah, I don't know. When we got that tick down at 23.5, like it was a really good thing. And I mean, good thing for shorts. But we didn't see people selling. We didn't see people selling, and the longs held on. So now we take back up. There's an iceberg at 24. They tried to clear 24 and it didn't clear. So it's like there are definitely some shorts coming in here at 24, but like they're holding on. And I don't really know what's gonna happen. Like I was saying in chat, I've seen this happen once before.
One minute.
Tories is supposed to be flat. I think if you see a big decrease in inventories, it'd be really bad. Because that means that everybody tried to flood out their inventories for the trade war stuff, and then you might lose, you know, you're front loading some GDP. That means that there's going to be less sales in the next quarter because they already sold it all.
10 seconds.
Okay, so it's not really pulling.
0.1%, 0.1% for wholesale inventories
Oh,
month to
okay,
month.
that's
The trade
good.
sales at minus 0.1%. And that was the wholesale inventory month to month coming in at 0.1% against a expected flat reading. The trade sales month to month at minus 0.1%, revised of 2.1%. You can get the breakdown. That's the June stock sales ratio. It was at 1.25 months worth, of 1.5. While the inventories were revised to 0.1%.
Okay, so they're not reacting to that, but they do appear to be reacting somewhat to equities. Okay.
More after news now. Comments from Mexico's Pardo that Canada could possibly join talks next week. Bilateral. Reporting comments we got from yesterday. Canada could join in the talks.
Yeah.
Getting some flow now in euro dollar. That's update deck 18,000 sold at 24.5.
I don't know. I still want to short it for some reason. I'm not necessarily seeing, well, I'm seeing it in the 5-year. It's not a good risk reward location right there, 23.5, I think. See, for continuation, it should hit this 23.5. You would want to buy it here. In fact, you see, I don't know about the 30-year, but like, or sorry, the 10-year, but like, I think you could buy the 30-year here. I'm not going to do it because I want to stick to the 10, but I think you'd buy it here. Right here, sell it here. I'm wondering if one of the places where I read this wrong was just that this 24.5 is not really so much resistance as it is an attractor. Maybe we just range around here, you know? It is troubling that we take that new high, and it's not exactly going anywhere. It's just kind of sitting here now. Can't sell that though. It's done this zipper thing way too much today.
In equity news trading banks maybe assets top the company.
Bitcoin actually did move up there, but the futures didn't really buy it so much as they did the earlier stuff. Lower. There's a lower tick. Now I think you finally got somebody trapped, like...
more from Fitch now. Emerging market news developments in Turkey closely. Sentiment around Turkey has deteriorated since the downgrade of Turkey could be triggered by sudden capital inflow hard at land. Under 10 minutes time, we will be getting the weekly EIA nat gas storage change. It's expected to be a build of 7 BCF, our build of 5 BCF, of 35 to 57 BCF.
Okay, well, there's you gonna get your 22. Remember, I was shorting 23 half and looking for 22. But then we went through it and I said, well, the low risk entry is 24 half. Didn't show 24 half for very long, did it? Fortunate. So it actually did do it, but I just wasn't paying attention / ready for it, I guess. Now at 22, you might be able to buy this short term. Some shorts are going to take a profit here. Maybe a buy here. Then maybe a sell at 24 half again. Excuse me. You know, I had a pretty good night's rest, but that stupid alarm went off early, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm thinking about, like, completely resetting my phone. Well, maybe I should delete the alarm app first. Or maybe there's a way to see everything that has alarm permissions. Yes, that's what I should do. Heidi. Morning. Well, thanks for coming in. It's time for me to go, though. Okay, well, let's just review. We should do this with the journal. Today, apply 2 trades. Right. So this one I thought was a really good trade. Wanted to hold it through the zipper, but I decided to take the +3. So I caught this. Actually, I think it was this. And then I took it off there. So I wanted to hold it through there, but I just couldn't say. You know, it was a high of the session. It's kind of hard to say. Well, you know, I think that because it broke the overnight range, I should have held it, but so yeah, I probably should have held it at least to maybe to here. So that one could have been a lot better for sure. And then this one could have broken even, but I didn't, is what it says. So like
We'll get the CIA NACA storage chain and expected to be built up.
it was right here, right? I think it took it here, and I got a tick for a moment, and then it started doing this. So when it started doing this, that was where I could have gotten out. And then we got this thing, and I was like, well, it could still go down. So it was here. This right here, it really should have ticked 22 half. So it's easy to see in retrospect, but I think that probably the best way to have managed that would have been to have sold it, would have been to have gotten out of it there at +1 or break even. You know, just gotten out, because it was like, it should have gone down there and it didn't go. Now you're giving them a chance to test the other way, and you know, that's just another chance for them to stop you out. Should get out of there, and then if you still like it, maybe you can take it at 24 half, and then you could have gotten this, the 24 to 22 half, 24 half to 22 half. So yeah, mistakes were made. Any other comments before we go? I mean, it's still +1 today. And it's still +1 today, so not bad. Could have done better. Okay. Well, what do we got on the docket for tomorrow?
1 minute.
Okay, so we do have CPI, so that's pretty important. So I think that tomorrow we might have something where, you know, we get a good move off of the CPI, that is somewhat short-lived. Then, you know, it's just going to be dead because a lot of people go on vacation this weekend. So this next, I'll show you the calendar here. You know, so school starts for some of us. I think that my kids start on the 30th. It's the 23rd or sorry, it's either the 20th or the 27th. So everybody's taking their last vacation here, right?
10 seconds.
And then it still kind of ends up being dead because you don't get the economic news until September. So this again was an area where I'm saying
46 BCF, a build 6 BCF, full expectation 7. Look, breakdown, that was gas starts 3, West up 27, the Pacific down 5, down 1, while the Meltdown Cavern were.
anyways, so yeah, this is kind of like a good practice, but I don't expect to necessarily be profitable this month. We should check. We should look at that, shall we? I come over here and I go to dashboard. The whole month. Oh, it's only the 9th. Only the 9th. I think I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. But it's not. It's by 6 ticks, so it's not like a huge deal. Obviously, yeah, this was a bad day. Well, that wasn't a huge bad. This one was bad. That one was like 8 ticks almost. And then there was one here where I had a really good trade and I missed it. And then today, this one I probably could have extended. So I think probably do need to work a little bit on letting them extend now. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just yapping now. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.